And welcome once again to another episode of Stu Ham Productions Presents
J&M Solve the World. I'm James.
And I am Matt. And with us once again is our extra special guest, Andrew.
Hello, how we doing today? I've been upgraded.
They are happy to see you. Tonight's episode, we are going to talk about something that is that we know a little bit about. And if you haven't noticed yet, we know a little bit about a lot and a lot about a little.
Or a lot about nothing.
We are vast arrays of useless information.
There you go.
But tonight we're going to talk about booze.
Booze.
Liquor, beer, alcohol, not boobs.
Yeah, I had you thought we was going to talk about boobs tonight.
I was just making sure I heard, the topic for tonight.
Yeah, boobs are cool.
So to start off with, do you remember the first thing, like the first alcohol that you ever drank?
Oh, yeah, like it was yesterday. It wasn't yesterday, by the way. Me and a friend of mine, we were probably, 15 maybe. And this other friend of ours who was probably 17, he could buy at any liquor store around Bolivar. And he took us and we got a 40 each of Mickey's.
Oof.
And he lived at the end of what we used to call Sandy Lanes out there in Bolivar. You come in off of 32 and then you walked. This guy dropped us out at the end of the road and we walked to his house, which is probably, what is that, Andy? Half a mile maybe? They're off 32 by that barn. If you go straight, you end up on the T, and then you come out there by Rental World or Rental.
The old sale barn.
Yeah. You go past the sale barn, you come on in on Buffalo Road.
Yeah.
And then it may be a mile, but we drank that fucking bottle. We each had a 40, and we were drunk before we got to his drive. We were throwing rocks. We were having a good time. Then he's like, shh, gotta be quiet, because if Dad finds out, he's gonna kill us. So we snuck into luckily his bedroom was like the first one on the right when we got in the house. And before the night was over, we were drunk and hungover and swore to God we were never gonna do that shit again. Shout out, Jack.
Fast forward 40 years later, and we just had some 18-year-old scotch, 15-year-old scotch, and some of the smoothest tequila I have ever had in my entire life.
Yep, that's pretty good stuff for something you can buy at the store.
Yes.
My brother's got some stuff that they brought back from Mexico that was even better than that. But as far as anything I bought off the shelf, that stuff there is just pretty nice.
I mean, it had the smell of tequila whenever you took the drink. In the bottle, you couldn't smell it. But when you took that drink, you got that smell in your mouth. But then when you swallowed it, there was no burn.
Right.
It was smooth. It had like a smoky almond type aftertaste.
It just made you all warm and fuzzy inside, though.
Yes.
Yep.
Andrew, do you remember the first thing that you drank?
Well, the first thing I drank was in my cousin's wedding, wherever the wedding was at. Now, this is a cousin on my mom's side. No, on my dad's side.
You don't need to get too particular, because
I'm
you
just saying.
could go to jail for this. No.
I'm not dropping any names, so don't worry about
Statute
that.
of limitation has expired.
Oh, I'm sure it has. I was drinking the punch, and I tell you what, I slept real good going home. Now,
You thought it was just regular punch, huh?
right now, actual knowing. Oh shit! You would have. That was back when I worked for a trim company that trimmed out power lines. Coors Light, 3 of them. I was drunker than 14 Indians. Exactly.
Actually, I got to rephrase mine. That was the first time I got drunk.
Okay.
I'd had beer,
Yeah.
just small deals of beer when I was little.
Yeah.
And I think it was Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Ooh.
PBR.
My mom used to tell me that when my parents were still married, Dad would come in off the road and he'd have a 6-pack of Budweiser ponies.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd set down the 6-pack next to his chair and he'd crack open one and he'd take a drink, set it down. Mom said that I would come up behind the chair and grab said bottle and drink it.
Well,
I had to have been 3, maybe 4 is what she said.
Mm-hmm.
But then actually like, hey, let's fucking drink. Mad Dog fucking 2020 Orange Jubilee. Yeah, yeah.
Morgan David.
Morgan David.
But
I tried, Chris and I, we tried lots of different alcohols back in the day. And we got some Mad Dog one night. And I think we had a glass of it each. We're like, okay, this ain't gonna work. We're gonna have to go get something different. We just could not stomach that. It was just the plain Mad Dog
yeah.
grape or whatever the fuck it
Oh,
was. So we ended up going, I think we went back and got some Southern Comfort or something, something less hazardous to your health.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember drinking. So where I grew up in Illinois, we all were drinking like get a case of Mickey's or, somebody would have a bottle or something.
Did you ever drink Little Kings?
Yes. Yeah. Cream ale.
Yep.
But we started making what we called Power Piss. Everclear and Mountain Dew.
Ooh, yeah, that will.
And then we took it a step further and we started making purple Power Piss. Mm-hmm. Grape juice, Mountain Dew, and Everclear.
Ooh.
Yeah. We got fucking hammered.
Yeah.
There was no easy way around that one.
I seen a guy one afternoon. This girl I'd been on a date with the night before. We drank Everclear and fruit punch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wasn't bad. Except for, you'd drink some off your fruit punch and then you'd pour Everclear in there. And if you didn't get shook up enough, that first swig was like, whoa. But we got home and there was like, I don't know, maybe about that much at the bottom of the bottle. This dude's like, I wonder if this shit burns. And he took the lid off of it. And of course, it's full of fumes.
Yeah.
There's no liquid in there.
No.
He takes his Bic lighter and he goes, he's like, son of a bitch. I'm like, duh.
Yeah.
It was 180 proof, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 90% grain alcohol.
Right.
The only way you're getting more alcohol is rubbing alcohol.
I don't even know if rubbing alcohol is that high a proof. You could literally put Everclear in your Zippo lighter and it would work just fine.
Well, yeah. I mean, back in the 70s, I may or may not have seen my father take a bottle of Everclear and put it in the fuel tank of his Kenworth.
Right.
That may or may not have been a thing back then.
Well,
So was that a thing old truck driver did?
I don't know about that, but I have heard that, you're talking about fuel gelling up. Dad would say that they would stop at, they'd get diesel fuel and then add gallon or two of unleaded, you know, to
Oh yeah.
thin the mix so it wouldn't gel.
Yeah.
Of course, now that, you know, I can go off on another tangent, but I won't. But yeah.
Yeah.
But
Beer wise, what is your beer of choice?
I like dark beer.
Okay.
If I'm gonna drink a beer, I don't want a light beer. I like Killian's Red is probably, you know, especially around St. Patty's Day, they usually run specials on Killian's and Amberbach,
Okay.
especially on the tap. Amberbach on tap in a frozen mug. That's, you know, but that's what I prefer. I mean, I'll drink a Keystone or whatever if you're on a float trip and that's all you got. But
Yeah.
I like a dark beer. You know, Michelob. I like Michelob, the regular Michelob back in the day, not the Mick Ultra, the Mick Light, or whatever. I mean, the Amberbach. I don't even think they make regular Michelob full flavor anymore. I haven't seen it in forever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
So, but that's, you know, of course, everybody's like, oh, we got to get on this health kick and drink light beer while they're eating fucking burritos and bullshit. You know, it's kind of like the people that go to Sonic and order double cheeseburger and fries and a Diet Coke. I'm watching my figure.
If you're watching your figure, you wouldn't be getting a cheeseburger and a fries. Anyway.
What about you, Andy? Beer of choice.
Natural Light.
Okay. You know,
You know,
yeah.
I've heard people say, well, why would you want to drink Natural Light? Well, I drink Bud Light, 12-pack of Bud Light. Then I drink a 12-pack of Bud Light one night, and then the next night I drink 12-pack of Natural Light. I don't feel bloated on the Natural Light. Why? Well,
Maybe it's that time of month and you're just retaining water.
how dare you bring up my person? That's it. I'm out of here. I'm gone. Bye. No, I mean, I've never tried, you know, dark beer. Or, you know, it's mainly, you know, Anheuser. Well, sorry. Yeah. Anyway.
No, that's fine.
Natural Light. That's what I like when I'm drinking beer. I'll go through phases where I'll drink beer and then switch it back over to Scotch. Yeah.
Of course, when I first met you, you was a Beam & Coke man.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I quit. Now for beer.
Or not first met you because you was a little kid when I first met you, but
Well, you
when I
know,
started seeing you at the bar, it was Beam & Coke.
small pup.
Yep.
Beer wise, I like Bud Light. An ice cold Bud Light bottle after working outside all day. Oh, it goes down fucking smooth. If I'm at a bar, Bud Light draw. I prefer a Bud Light draw. But I really don't drink a lot of beer.
Right.
I would rather have a mixed drink than anything else. Now, what is one thing that you drank that you feel though that you discovered is better than what somebody else has said? I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Crown Apple. Okay. You know how much I love fucking Crown Apple.
Right.
And having cran apple juice with it is fucking phenomenal because it brings the flavor of the apple out.
Right.
And you know, I quit doing the dark sodas as a mixer a long fucking time ago because
I did too.
it just kind of like after you've been drinking so much, you're like,
The dark sodas give me heartburn. Any of the colas, I don't care, major brands or
yeah.
whatever. So back when I was still drinking bourbon, I switched to 7-Up.
Yep.
And I could drink bourbon and 7-Up all night long and not get heartburn.
7 and 7s.
7 and 7s.
Can't go wrong.
Happy birthday, Dimebag. even though this video won't come out, but still.
Yeah. You know, I mean, fuck it. It's August. It's dimes month.
There you go.
Here's to you. Here's to you.
Yeah, I mean, I switched mixers to ginger ale, 7-Up. I don't like Sprite just because it's too fizzy.
Yeah. Always,
Too much carbonation.
Yeah, it's got a different wang to it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like out at the Southern Star, we had Pepsi products,
Yes.
so we could have 7-Up.
Yep.
Because, like Larry said, when somebody orders a Jack and Coke, they don't know that it's Pepsi.
Right.
But you order 7 and 7, and you get Sprite, people are bitching
Yeah.
because there's a difference.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
to me, 7-Up is cleaner.
yeah.
You know, it's not as syrupy or something. I don't know what it is, but I mean that's just my.
There's not as
my
much
taste.
carbonation to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I can drink when I got bad belly and puking and doing all that
Yeah.
stuff. I can drink 7-Up and it kind of eases me down. You know.
7-Up, ginger ale, saltine crackers.
Mm-hmm.
Am I forgetting anything?
And The Price is Right on TV. Sorry. I've seen that on
You ever drink?
Facebook. Sorry.
Oh shit! I gotta bring this up.
Uh-oh.
And
Oh, shit.
I was gonna wait.
Uh-oh.
I was gonna wait for a different podcast, but I'm
Sorry.
gonna bring it up anyways. Do you know who we have to blame for the fucking Kardashians?
Who?
The 1968 fucking Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Because they went 1-12-1, which gave them the #1 draft pick in 1969. And who do you think that #1 draft pick was?
Let's see.
O.J. Simpson. And while O.J. Simpson lived in Buffalo, New York, he met Nicole Brown Simpson. Then they moved to California, and Nicole Brown Simpson met Ron Goldman, and O.J. may or may not have killed
Allegedly.
Nicole and Ron Goldman, which put O.J. on trial, which put the Kardashian dad as his defense attorney, and then Kim and Ray J leaked that sex tape they had, and that brought, #1, the trial brought the Kardashians to everybody's name. Everybody knew who the Kardashians was. And then when Kim and Ray J released that tape, now they're part of pop culture, and now everybody unfortunately knows who the fucking Kardashians are because of the 1968 fucking Buffalo Bills.
Thanks, Buffalo. Appreciate it.
all that.
You couldn't win
In a
one
nutshell.
more fucking game. No, you had to fucking tie.
Who got the second pick that year?
I don't know, and I don't give a shit. I have to admit,
See, folks, that's what alcohol does to you when you're talking on one subject. Then you got to go off on a Buffalo Bills Kardashian rant.
Then it brings up another one.
I have to
Or
admit,
2 or 12.
that was I saw that on a TikTok, and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be fucking hilarious.
Then like,
But then
watch this.
Yeah, but then it was like, holy shit, holy shit,
Who knew?
what the fuck?
Makes sense now.
Exactamundo.
Yes. So that is why the Buffalo Bills did not win the Super Bowl, even though they went four years in a row.
Good point. Karma come back to bite him in the ass, didn't it?
Yep. Karma was looking out.
And that's probably why we drink today. It threw the whole, the world got thrown out of kilter.
Of all the heinous shit that football players have done.
That's the worst right there.
There's a couple suicides
That's not heinous.
Well,
That's self-inflicted.
but still.
Right. It's a tragedy.
Wait a minute.
It's a tragedy, but it's not heinous.
May have not should have went there, but anyway, you know what I mean.
But let me say this. Let me segue into this. If you, and I'm being completely 100% honest, if you feel that you need someone to talk to and there's nobody that you can talk to because you feel you're going to be judged, pick up your cell phone and dial 988. That is the National Suicide Hotline. They are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can either call or you can text. That is my public service announcement. Now let's get back to the booze.
That's the closest thing to an ad we got right now.
Right.
I almost forgot. We did get a sponsor.
Oh, we did?
We did. This week's show is sponsored by James Stewart and Matt Hembry.
Yep.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, it's about food.
Might as well.
Booze, you know. You gotta fuel the hosts.
That's right. What was it? A couple weeks ago, I brought down some cookies from Kansas City.
Bastard.
Misty's Mountain Cookies in Belton, Missouri. Holy shit. They had a root beer float cookie. Remember the little root beer float or the root beer barrels?
The hard candies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
they took those candies. They crushed them up. They put them in the cookie dough. Then
Oh, shit.
they took pieces of said barrels, made an icing on top. Then they had a Snickers infused, a Reese's peanut butter cup infused, a peanut butter cookie dipped in fucking chocolate.
You got your peanut butter in my chocolate.
You got your chocolate in my peanut butter.
That was the weekend Andy didn't make it out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when he called.
Yeah. Yeah, during the podcast.
What the broken arm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I didn't know y'all were in the podcast, or I'd have waited. My bad.
But that's okay. You still made the podcast. Matter of fact, your name is even on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So do yourself a favor and watch our YouTube channel.
All right. Okie dokie.
And to our tens of other fans, tell other people about our YouTube channel,
Yes.
Spotify, Apple
Podcast,
Apple Podcast.
Amazon Music Podcast, and Google Podcast.
Nice.
And I'll put it somewhere on the screen here, but our email address is J&M Solve the World @gmail.com. That's J and the word and M solvetheworld.com or shit @gmail.com.
Gmail.com.
Damn it. Fuck it. It'll be here somewhere on the screen.
Probably right now
Yeah.
while he's talking.
Yeah. Also,
You left out the dots, man.
I changed that one up. Share us. Share us with your friends. Share us on the gram of Insta and the book of Face and the chat of Snap and the talk of the tick and the we of the me.
That talk of the tick almost went the wrong way.
I don't know what you're talking
The
about.
talk of the tick.
Well, you know.
Speaking of booze.
Okay, so what is your liquor of choice?
Scotch. I like, of course, the better the scotch, the more the money. Mm-hmm. I got one that I drink that's, let's just say, bargain basement prices, But tonight I'm splurging a little bit.
Yeah.
But
A 12-year-old
a
scotch.
12-year-old scotch.
Very nice.
But, I like a good bourbon. The Crown, the
Yeah.
flavored Crowns. Yeah, I'm kind of warming up to them. But since the way I drink scotch is like the good scotch, I'll just pour it over ice. Some scotch drinkers are going to say, well, you should only have 3 ice cubes. But I like my shit cold. Sorry. But,
And we haven't quite gotten to the whiskey stones yet.
coming
Because-
soon.
Yeah, mine are in my storage unit.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have some.
Yep. But then, I like good bourbons. But I don't like the flavored so much. I like the honeys.
Yes, yes you do.
Especially in the freezer, and come inside from mowing. I've got one out there in the garage. I'll take a pull off of that. This just kind of makes the world better. Mm-hmm. But because I mix my scotch with water, I also mix my bourbons with water. Mm-hmm. I've got away from mixing any soda or anything because, alcohol dehydrates you.
Yes.
Soda pop dehydrates you. So I figure if I mix it with water, I'm getting a little bit of hydration.
Right.
Of course, I don't use a whole lot of water.
But, yeah, especially at the Anthrax Black Label show. I mean, that dude hooked you the fuck up with that Jameson.
Well, they should have.
Yeah, for the prices we were fucking paying.
Should have gave me the fucking bottle for that price. I think I could have bought a bottle for that price.
Yeah, you could have. Andrew,
Scotch.
Just Scotch.
I don't care if it's 3-year-old or 18.
Okay. I myself,
after you get through the first couple, it don't fucking matter.
Right.
I myself, I'm more. I prefer more of the honeys. Mm-hmm. If I'm out of the area to where I cannot get, and I'm gonna name drop here. If I can't get Jesse James honey, mm-hmm. it's American honey. I do not like the Jack Daniel's honey. I don't like the Jim Beam honey.
I did not know this until I seen a commercial a few years ago. Dewar's Scotch makes a Dewar's honey.
You don't say.
Yeah, I've never tried it. I've never
seen it.
I've never seen it, but there was a commercial for it. So this bee flies in and stings somebody, and they're drinking Dewar's. And it's like, huh.
Well, I know
that would be interesting because Scotch is a different than a bourbon.
Now, the first honey flavored alcohol I ever saw was in the mid '90s when I was out in California. Jaeger. Well, see, no, that's the thing is it was a different flavor, and you could tell the different in the bottle.
It wasn't
black licorice.
Black licorice with honey in it.
No.
Oh, okay.
Instead of the deer with the antlers,
mm-hmm.
no, it was a bear's head with antlers.
Huh.
And it had because Jaeger's a fucking thick liquor anyways.
Right.
And it was thick just like Jaeger, but it was honey and it had a honey flavor to it. It was okay. But, at that time when I was out there, I was more interested in
Pussy?
Well, yeah, that, and I got $20. How much can I drink?
When's happy hour start here?
Yeah. Kind of like those bars in Lawton, Oklahoma that had coin beer night.
Oh shit!
Fuck, I only got $15. We're getting tore the fuck up. Woo!
We used to do a ladies' night out at the Southern Star on Wednesday nights. It was $5 draw beer. You come in, you bought a cup for $5, and you got to refill it all night long. That was, I don't even know if you got see what we have, Bud and Busch and.
Yeah, Anheuser-Busch.
We had Budweiser and Busch.
Bud Light.
I don't know if we had Bud Light on tap. Yeah, we might have.
Yeah, I remember having a couple of Bud Light draws when we were playing.
But it was, it brought a crowd.
Yeah.
Which was fun for me because I was DJing the whole night, and the more people showed up, the more fun I had. Just,
right.
Just like, when we were playing, you playing in front of 15 people or you playing in front of 900, which is more fun.
Right. Well, and, the coin beer night, talking to locals, they were like, yeah, if you look at your bottle, because Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch started the whole born on date. Mm-hmm. And if you look, like, they had a thing. It was like, you'll never have a beer that's more than 90 days old.
Yeah.
And the beers that they were selling for coin were ones that were like a day or two before getting that 90 days or a day or two after that 90 days.
I see.
But, I mean, you'd go through a fuck ton of beer.
Right.
And why the fuck not?
I remember guy that used to be my boss years ago. He went up to Springfield. I can't remember where it was at, but they had nickel beer night. And he's like,
Oh, shit.
yeah, he got in a fight, or almost got in a fight.
Oh, hell, $2, you were good. $1.50, you were good.
Well, this was in the early 80s, late 70s, something like that.
So here's
That was a lot of damn money for a beer. Nickel? Jesus.
let's here's a alcohol infused story time with Uncle Matt. It was the first time that I actually hung out with you. You were married to your first wife at that time. I had a 6-pack of Heineken, and we had a little bit of liquor. And your brother was chasing us around Bolivar because Chris wanted to go see his girlfriend at the time. And we were, I was having to toss fucking beers out the window as we're flying around SBU. And,
Statute of limitations is off by now.
yes.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Chris's dad dropped me off at the house and told Chris that we were not allowed to hang out ever again. But I don't think Gary realized that Chris and I worked together.
Right.
And we were going to hang out anyways.
Yep.
But we had been drinking, and Chris decided, I want to see my fiance, because he was engaged at the time. And it's like, bro, you're like 17.
Right.
Why are you engaged?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my earliest memory with the Stewart family, other than Chris, being chased around Bolivar, having to toss beers out the window when Gary wasn't behind us.
Not just beers, but Heinekens.
Oh my God, fuck. You know how much?
That was what was cool back in the day. I'm going to say mid 80s up and through the early 90s. And this never happened to me, thank God. But I had many friends that got pulled over with booze in the car, beer, whatever. And one or two things happened. They either had to dump it out on spot, or the cops confiscated it, but they always sent them home.
Yes.
They didn't arrest anybody. They just said, you need to go home.
Go home, and I don't want to see you again.
Right. If I see you again tonight, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
No.
you're getting arrested.
You are going to jail.
You're going to jail.
I remember riding down 32 in Buffalo and watching the sheriff have these kids dump out. They had one of the big, stupid fucking coolers, and it was full of beer. And they were dumping out. I'd say it was probably like 2.5 cases of beer in this cooler. And they were having to crack every single one of them and dump them out in the parking lot. What is now MFA, it was a grocery store at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be rough. Because the poor kids just probably spent their whole allowance on that beer.
Yeah.
And the dude who bought it for them probably kept the change.
Oh, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
You didn't give somebody a $20 bill to buy you a 6-pack.
You know, and here's a funny story. There's a certain liquor store in Buffalo, Missouri, that we used to go to in high school and buy cigarettes. Pull up to the drive-thru, or we'd actually go inside. Never once did we ever get carded.
Right.
Fast forward, I'm 22 years old. I get out of the Marine Corps. We're getting ready to come down to band practice. We had stopped. Chris had gotten a 30-pack of High Life. He who shall not be named grabbed something else.
Probably wine coolers.
Yeah, probably. I got a couple of, I think I was drinking Dr. Peppers at the time. Dr. Peppers and a bottle of Captain. And, of course, the Captain was behind the counter. And I said, hey, let me get a bottle of Captain. She's like, okay. She rings it up. And she tells me the total. And I said, hey, wait a second. I'm sorry. I need a pack of Marlboro Lights. She's like, whoa, I need to see your ID. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You were getting ready to sell me a bottle of liquor without my ID, but now I'm buying cigarettes and you need to see my ID? You know how long you've been selling me cigarettes in this fucking store?
Then the bad thing about it was, at that time, you only had to be 18 to buy cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be 21 to buy booze.
Right.
But she's got to card you for the cigarettes.
Right.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Fucking small town logic. Gotcha.
Well, you can go get drunk, but we want to save your lungs.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's a good stopping point for tonight.
Yeah, because I'm getting ready for needing a refill here, you know?
Yeah, I'm getting somewhat close, trying to pace myself. But
Time for another shot of tequila? After dark might get interesting.
about
Maybe.
that.
Ish.
But until next time, make sure you like, share us, subscribe, hit that notification bell, wherever the fuck it is on the thing, so you know when we upload a new episode. Also, you can find us on, like James said earlier, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Google Podcast. Am I missing anything?
We should have brought a card in here so we'd know.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Of course, you're going to watch this on YouTube unless you're watching it on Spotify. So go to YouTube and subscribe. That'd be great.
Yep.
But until next time,
I'm James.
and I am Matt, and you've watched another episode of J&M Solve the World. And, of course, that is Andrew, a.k.a. Bullwinkle. But until next time, keep one fist in the... No, keep one foot in the gutter and one fist in the gold. And we'll be seeing
Peace
you.
out.